Hey there. Have you ever looked at the lineup of 16-foot base camps and thought, which one of these is really right for me? Well, today we're going to take a technical deep dive into the three models that make up this rugged lineup. The 16NB, and the off-road beast behind me, the 16X, and the eco-friendly, adventure-ready 16X REI Edition. This isn't just your average comparison video. We're going to go a little beyond the surface to break down real-world differences that matter when you're out on the road or off of the road. As someone who's worked on these and driven a few of these units, I can give you a hands-on perspective of what sets each one of these apart. We'll look at everything from off-road performance and system upgrades to the features that make these base camps not only durable, but also incredibly versatile. So whether you're new to the base camp or already a fan, this video is for those of you who want to really understand what these units are capable of. By the end of this deep dive, you'll know exactly which model fits your adventure style, and we'll touch on the finer details that only a service tech like me can give you. Are you ready? Let's go. So some features like build quality here are going to be standard across all three on the lineup. Like for example, we have an exterior length of 16 feet 2 inches tip to tail and a width of 7 feet, and that's standard across all three. One difference we do have though here is in height. Although this NB or this base camp, just base camp, has been upgraded, it typically will have a lower ride height, about a half a foot shorter than its counterparts here. And the ground clearance underneath will be about 9 inches with 12 inches of ground clearance on the counterparts here. The standard lift kit across this lineup is going to influence towing. It's going to arguably be more comfortable despite the center of gravity being slightly higher. The body's going to be able to roll more with you, and towing these guys on a ball even is very comfortable. The Basecamp NB here has a hitch weight of about 410 pounds and a hitch height of about 18 inches. The X and the REI behind me, we're sitting at about 21 inches on that coupler height, and we have a hitch weight of 450 pounds, which gives us a wide variety of tow vehicles that would look fantastic in front of these base camps. So we talked briefly about the Basecamp 16's weights, but it's worth mentioning that standard across all three, the gross vehicle weight rating is 3,500 pounds, meaning I've seen Honda Ridgelines, I've seen Volvo XC90s, and I've seen Subaru Ascents towing a Basecamp 16 either on the road or off our lot itself. And the fact that this can be comfortably towed by a wide range of vehicle means that more people can come and be part of the Airstream family, starting with their Basecamp. The cargo that you can carry is going to differ, but you're going to have a yellow printout on the bottom of the door when you open it with an exact weight specification on how much gear you can put inside the unit. So now to speak about where your trailer is actually going to make contact with the ground, the tires themselves. So no matter which 16 Basecamp you choose, you're going to get a 15-inch attractive stylized aluminum rim, different with each model, but the other thing that's slightly different is the tires themselves. We're going to get meaty 235s on our X and our REI, but we're going to get 225s on the NB, and that kind of contributes to that lower to the ground ride or easier to stow profile at a half a foot shorter. One exterior feature that is not standard across all of the line is actually the rock guards and solar guards in the front here. They're not going to come standard with the Basecamp NB. It's actually part of the X package, and it does obviously kind of enhance the look here and also protect the body of the Airstream itself, which is what you always want to do. The propane tank cover with the top storage is going to be standard, but the tongue jack up here, this front jack, the electric is only going to come with the X and the REI. You're going to be cranking with your NB, and that, I mean, it's never going to run out of battery, but it does get really tiring for sure. To speak to another important subject, the weights in general that influence towing, our unloaded base weight of the REI and the X here are 2,700 pounds. The Basecamp NB is going to start at an unloaded base weight of 2,650 pounds. This is actually influenced as well by the cargo you can carry. You can put 800 pounds of gear in your REI or your Basecamp X, but you can put an additional 50 pounds at 850 pounds in your Basecamp NB. As I said before, and what's in so much importance, the hitch weight is going to be 450 with the X and 450 with the REI, but only 410 with the Basecamp, meaning you have a little bit more of payload capacity left over when you're towing just a base Basecamp. Now let's talk about power. Batteries and solar, as well as each one of these guys is going to be a 30 amp service. A couple years ago, we started going from our twist lock power cords to our smart power cords, but 30 amp is going to be standard on these 16 Basecamps. Next thing to kind of consider is the 12 volt system, the batteries themselves. So in the last few years, we're seeing lithium come standard on our Airstreams, of course, but that doesn't mean you can't option lead acid or no batteries from the factory and put in your own lead acid or AGM batteries. Of course, solar is available on all these guys. We're typically going to see 200 watts of solar on the roof of the Basecamp, but the REI is unique in the ability to option 3 120 watt panels as an alternative to the 200 watt panels you'll typically see on the roof of a Basecamp. Now let's talk a bit about heating and cooling. Above me we have a Coleman Mach non-ducted AC, and this is 9,200 BTUs of cooling power above me. We even have a heat strip on this as well, so if we're just trying to knock the chill out, it works fantastically. And I've seen soft starts installed on these and they function fantastically. I haven't seen a lot of issues with the Machs overall, and the filters themselves are super easily accessible from my little fins on each side of the AC here. And being able to take these down and clean them makes the overall health of this AC unit extended slightly over time, and it's just easier to maintain. I really don't have a lot of issues or things to worry about with these. I just think it's a great unit overall. The other thing to keep in mind is the heating of the unit. So of course we have a ducted furnace with 12,000 BTU standard across all 3 of the Basecamps, just like the Coleman Mach above me, but the furnace is going to differ depending on your unit. On the NB over there behind me, that's actually a 2018, and it's equipped with a true Macombi, and that actually kind of puts out a more temperate heat because it's using kind of a hydronic system. This has a Dometic forced air furnace, which is a bit of a drier heat, but that's the time-honored and tested furnace that you're going to see across the RV industry. And when you're cold, you're not really complaining about how humid the heat coming out of the unit is, so to speak. So now let's talk about water and plumbing. Of course, we're going to have a sea level 2 tank monitor, and that's going to be standard on all of the Basecamps, even the initial NB when it was brought to market. And not only is that going to have a battery display and a pump switch for you, it's also going to have fresh tank readout as well as black, and this black is actually the combination black gray tank underneath. That's a 24-gallon tank, and the fresh tank itself is a 21-gallon tank. This guy is also equipped with a Suburban IW60 water heater that has a recirculating function, meaning if we're trying to conserve fresh water, but we're trying to get some water hot for the shower, instead of having to run the shower and have the flow sensor pick up the water going through the tank and waste all that water going down the drain, we can actually hit the recirculating function, have the tank heat up the water at the tank, and then when I'm ready to take my shower and open the faucet, I'm wasting a minimal amount of water, getting everything set up to temp for me to have a comfortable shower and use as little water from my fresh tank as possible. Another really unique feature that's related to the water system of the Basecamp units here, and that's exclusive to the REI unit, is a UV water filter faucet that's actually right in your kitchen. So if you're filling up water bottles for a long day on trails or whatever you might be doing out in the units, if you just want to fill up your water bottle and use your fresh tank and the filter inside to do so, I mean, it's insanely convenient, and it's a nice little part of the special edition that's unique to the unit. Another standard feature that's fantastic on the Basecamp is this wet bath that I can actually stand in and move around in. Another thing worth mentioning is with the REI, you can option to remove the commode and have a composting toilet put inside. So if you're really trying to get out there and boondock for that even bit longer, it's a fantastic option that we actually can put in from the factory. Another thing that's standard, like this shower itself, is the fact that there is a pass-through cabinet, so you can go ahead and hand your shower outside. And this is a nicer shower head than you're typically going to get on your outside shower. That's pretty cool. So now we're inside, we're going to talk a little bit about the interior build quality of these units. On all three, between the walls, we're going to have R11 grade insulation. The cabinetry in the X and the NB are going to be light ply marine grade cabinetry. We also have Spalding fabric here on the cushions. This is very popular. It's also an option that you can kind of easily wipe clean. It's pretty easy to maintain. The standards, the windows, the shades are going to be standard across all three, but we're going to go into the REI and talk a little bit about how the cabinetry and stuff differs in there. So now we're inside the REI Basecamp. You can tell we have more of an earthy, natural tone inside here. That's the decor that's fitting of this special edition. Also, you get a ton of REI specific gear with your purchase of the Basecamp, and there's recycled material that goes into making the very comfortable cushions found in this unit. There's a second and unique to this unit aluminum L-track on the wall, so if you're trying to tie down gear and you also need a second point to tie it down, you have this wall available for you. And the cabinetry itself in the REI is sustainably sourced. So you have kind of this eco-friendly purchase here. You've got way more of less of a footprint. So as far as reliability from Airstream as a brand, almost 70% of every Airstream ever built is still found on the roads today. Also, every Airstream, as of recent, is coming with a 3-year warranty from the factory when you purchase the unit. And every RV, not just the ones we build, but every RV you're going to find on the road is a very purpose-driven product. This is the most adventure-ready floor plan that Airstream has ever offered. And there's no wonder that it is one of the best-selling travel trailers that we offer. So if you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe for more Airstream content. And if you have any questions, please drop them in the comments below. And we're going to be happy to help out. So thank you all so much for watching, and until next time, happy adventures.